It's group time again, and I'm really excited to be with all of you today. I want to say before I get into the study time, I'm really proud of each one of you for being so faithful to your small group and for your faithfulness to our church during this series on victory. Faithfulness is a really great character trait. I'm super proud of you. Last Sunday, I preached the message, Stuck in the Wilderness. And I want to read you this verse in Deuteronomy where God tells the whole purpose of the wilderness. He said, "You shall remember the Lord your God, who led you all these 40 years in the wilderness." Why? To humble you and to test you and to know what was in your mind, to know what you were thinking, to expose how you think, whether you would keep his commandments or not. So the purpose of the wilderness was to awaken us to how we're thinking, to get us out of difficulty and into the promised land. Speaking of getting, kind of getting stuck, how about we have some fun here for a moment for an icebreaker? Go around the circle and maybe share a time that you got lost or you got stuck somewhere, and then come back and we'll go into our first discussion question. You remember I told you on Sunday that I personally have been becoming a lot more aware of negative thoughts. And when they do come, I find myself frequently writing them down on the notepad on my phone and then joyfully deleting those guys, just killing them. So let's just start right off the bat in our discussion by taking negative thoughts captive. So take out your phone if you got one with you. If not, maybe you can grab a piece of paper and a pen. I'd like you to take a moment and think about it. Write out at least one negative thought that you're aware of. You get it. You're identifying a negative thought that you've been kind of struggling with. Write it on your phone or a notepad or write it on a piece of paper. And then before you destroy it, I think it'd be great if you take a quick moment and share one of those negative thoughts that you just wrote down, that you've been dealing with, one that you've identified you'd like to get rid of. Maybe share it with the group, and then after people have had a chance to share, you'll get a cue from your leader. Now it's time to destroy it. Delete it off your phone or tear up the paper and celebrate the victory, and then come back when you're done, and I have another question for you. Okay, I'm assuming that some of you have been practicing this past week of these two things, identifying these negative thoughts and then killing them, just being ruthless. So maybe a couple of you can share a time this week when you actually practiced it. It worked, where you did just that. You identified a negative thought that was really affecting you, and then how you destroyed it and how it helped you to do better. So take a moment, do that, and then come back. Now we're going to wrap this up here. We don't want to just identify the negative. That's half the battle. We do want to identify and be aware of the negative thoughts and want to kill them. But secondly, we want to replace that area in our brain, in our mind, in our thinking with God's truth. Now, last week, I challenged you to really meditate if you could. Take some time to read through and think on the scriptures from the back of the victory card. It has scriptures, and then it has the declaration based on that scripture. I'm wondering if some of you might be able to share one of those scriptures or declarations that's really helped you this week. You just got it in your mind and your heart, you repeated it, you prayed it, you said it, and it really made a difference. If you could take time to go around the circle and just talk about those scriptures. And I'm just going to close. I know after you're done with that discussion, your leader's going to lead you in a powerful, really powerful prayer time, praying for each other. One last thought also to the ladies only. I really want to encourage you. If you have not yet registered for FAME this Saturday, you need to do that right now at the small group meeting, because I promise you, you won't regret it. Time well spent around a couple hundred ladies really seeking God. It'll be life-changing for you. And to everybody, men and women, I'll see all of you next Sunday at church.